Hey guys, I want to talk a bit about some Mandela effect community issues, and I want to talk about ways that we can come together instead of breaking apart, and the ways we can go beyond just looking for evidence and enumerating all the different new Mandela effects or the changes in them, which there is value in that. But there's something I want to say about going a little deeper and starting to look at, is there a way to decode what these messages are for and why there are patterns in them, right? Like why the lamb becomes a wolf, etc. So we'll go into that in a minute. Let's go first to community. I've been wandering through the land of YouTube Mandela effect, way outside of my, wheelhouse, not where I'm normally hanging out. I'm all about enlightenment. I'm the awakened dreamer, but I'm Mandela affected, and so I'm interested. I'm a curious, awake human being. And I don't mean awake just like awake to the Mandela effect, which is great too. I mean awake to the truth of my soul and who I am. So I've been finding it an interesting journey to go into some of these chat rooms that are very born-again Christian oriented, and how there can be sometimes an exclusionary way of operating in those particular, like, I don't mean the videos someone posts, I mean when they have lives, like hangouts on air, which a lot of people are doing. So to go back, I got into Mandela effect because I had my own experience of it. It was I called the gateway drug, the Berenstain Bears, about a year ago. And that was, my daughter tipped me off, and then I began investigating Fiona Broome and the rabbit hole, and I started to see all the other Mandela effects around me and was shocked. Just shocked. So I'm like everybody else who gets into it. I have the same trajectory. But then I began to connect with a lot of you guys online. So there's this guy, Scarab Performance, his real name is Daniel, and I finally figured that out. And Shane over at Unbiased on the Fence, Aaron at Effective Collective, I'm gonna forget somebody, Lone Eagle, trying to remember his real name, and all of these people out there doing, I like the Laszlo guy, I am Laszlo. I actually like Jacob Israel. A lot of people are not so crazy about his delivery, but I like him. But one thing that all of these have in common is that they are investigating the Mandela effect. Oh, and John Boyle, he's sweet, up in New York. They're investigating the Mandela effect, and they have a Christian bias. And maybe because the Bible changes is what got them into it. It seems to be a whole lot of born-again, fundamentalist, kind of religious Christian bias. Not all of it's that intense. John Boyle's way more Gnostic, but a lot of it's very intense. And if you get into some of those Google Hangout chat room things with them, God forbid you say something that they'll take as trolling when you suggest that God isn't a he, or maybe that the Mandela effect isn't limited to born-again Christians who are going to get raptured. So I actually got kicked off of one of the shows. I got timed out, I think, because I said, you think God has a penis? I think that might have been why one of the moderators timed me out. Now, to give the show's host credit, which is the Scarab Performance guy, that's not his MO, it's just a moderator. And I ended up talking on that show, finally getting on through the phone line, and we had a really good discussion about inclusivity. How it is more important than ever in what we have the last thing we need is tribes in the Mandela effect. Just so you have like religious factions on the earth, which is why we have wars and persecutions and chaos. We need everybody on board. We need inclusivity. There's a phenomena going on, and whether it has nothing to do with whether you believe in Jesus or not. It's just a phenomena, all right? Gang, period, end of story, right? That's that. That was a rant. The second one is, let's all look beyond, a little bit beyond the whole, itemizing and counting, like stocks like stock takers, in the grocery store, what Mandela effects are expiring, what ones are new, and what ones we need to look at as, whatever. Let's stop just doing an accounting of Mandela effects and start investigating, putting our heads together. We're all clever, and trying to see what is happening at a code level. Somebody else does the code level stuff. Guy Fawkes, his channel, he spells it F-A-Q-U-E-S. Guy Fawkes. I say Guy because I'm from Canada, and we say Guy is French, right? He does a bit of the decoding of the Mandela effect, and so does a little bit Erin at Affected Collective. That's her channel. I love to see more of us put our heads together and tune into what the patterns and the messages are and what they may be trying to tell us, right? So that's the other angle. I'm going to go into that direction myself, and as I discover stuff, I will share it here. Video blog style, because I haven't figured out how the hell to do screen shares and create content that's so beautifully produced like some of the Mandela effect researchers do. I'm just kind of Low budget. All right, guys, thanks for the rant. Thanks for listening. That's just me saying there is got to be consensus and community and inclusivity for Mandela effect progress. Researchers into it to have progress, to come into an inclusivity mode with all people. And the second one I'm saying is, yeah, let's go deep. Let's look deeper and deeper into the effect and say, what is really happening here? There's a message underneath all of these changes, and it's not necessarily nefarious or malevolent. It may actually be the greater consciousness, you can call it Jesus, God, whatever, breaking through to the slumbering masses that most of us are, kind of walking through the dream of your life, not recognizing that this fabric of reality is highly malleable and highly mutable. It is a participatory universe, as physicist John Wheeler would say, and maybe this is to wake us up to our participation in this reality. It changes. Its memory won't serve you. It might serve you to see the changes, okay? But it won't lock you into keeping things the way they are. Those of us who are Mandela affected, it's not that we have better memories, it's that we're willing to entertain that there's something happening. I don't think there's anybody who's oblivious. I mean, everybody can see some changes when you bring it up with them, honestly. But that's a whole other topic. Okay. Thanks for listening to my rant. All right, Mandela effect. That's the topic today. Inclusivity. Ciao, ciao, guys. Mwah.